Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. In this video, I've got a few exciting things to cover with you. The one I'm most excited about has to do with a MoneyTap creating a mechanism that may use XRP and xRapid. So looking forward to covering that with you. There's also another piece out today, and it's talking about how specifically Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is siding with the federal government, which means, of course, he's against the cryptocurrency community at large. Complete nonsense. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but there are a few new points made by this, and it's from a completely different author, so I'm going to share some of it, and I'm going to do my best to not completely regurgitate everything that I said yesterday, but I gotta call this stuff out when I see it because it's complete bunk, and I don't want people buying into this nonsense. And also, I'll close out the video by sharing an article with you, I believe it's from Daily Huddle. And CZ, the CEO of Binance, he says that, first of all, alt season, it's coming, but there's going to be one very big difference relative to how the last alt season occurred in 2017. So before we get going here, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and do yourself a favor today, subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. You will not regret it, or else your money back guaranteed. I'm kidding, this is free. Anyway, so into the content. There's this tweet from Panda Ripple XRP on Twitter, and there's a link to this article, which is what I'm looking forward to sharing with you. And he tweets out, "We want MoneyTap to accommodate international remittance, so we created a mechanism, and it may contribute to xRapid using XRP." And that's a quote from SBI Holdings CEO Yoshitaka Kitao. So let me share with you a bit of this piece here. And I already read the title, so let me just get into the content here. And there's a couple bullet points up front here. It states, MoneyTap could use xRapid in the future. Second bullet point, launching VC Trade Pro and FATF conducting an on-site inspection. Okay. SBI Holdings smartphone app MoneyTap, that is powered by Ripple's xCurrent product, is now planning bigger things that may even have something to offer to XRP enthusiasts as well. In its second quarter 2019 financial results report, the bank announced that MoneyTap is considering investment from U.S.-based company Ripple. What I'm about to read to you, this next piece, I actually did briefly report on yesterday, but the rest of the story is not what I reported on, so check this out. At a stage where the acceptance of investments from domestic financial institutions has been completed, MoneyTap will now consider accepting an investment from U.S. Ripple in order to strengthen technical cooperation and the promotion of initiatives related to international remittances, states the report. Launched last October in the participation of three banks, Rezona, Saruga Bank, and SBI Sumishin Net Bank, MoneyTap is built with distributive ledger technology that enables users to send funds at no cost using just a QR code or recipient's telephone number, and further utilizes biometric features for security. As recently reported, MoneyTap added 5 new banks that took the tally of its partnerships to 25 capital participant banks with Ripple and 8 API platform connected companies. This means now 33 banks have the ability to utilize MoneyTap. The company is further expecting this number to rise and to include, quote, major banks. During SBI Holdings' VC trade announcement, SBI CEO Yoshitaka Kitao talked about the prospect of using XRP powered by xRapid. And here's the quote. "We want MoneyTap to accommodate international remittance, so we created a mechanism, and it may contribute to xRapid using XRP," said Kitao. And that's the money quote right there. And that is what we're waiting for. And it's amazing, especially with MoneyTap. Imagine utilizing this all from your cell phone, and you can actually what's so mind-blowing to me, not only that you could use it from your cell phone, but with this technology, it's completely automated. So if you start something like this, there are market makers, there are exchanges in the middle. There are those gateways, And these transactions, they go through, they tap into the gigantic pools of liquidities that are these exchanges. The buy and sells are completely automated using an efficient path-seeking algorithm created by Ripple, and then you just have money on the other end, and you're just completely converted, in your account moments later. It's astonishing to me. And so if you can somehow tap into this, because the messaging portion, of course, that's already well known. Xcurrent is being used with MoneyTap here. But this is just, if this happens, as Yoshitaka Kitao is saying, that's what they're kind of gearing towards, this just provides a whole nother level of functionality. And this is another type of thing, and I always look at it from this frame of perspective too. As you see more instances of XRP legitimately being used, that shows utility. Utility is absolutely crucial. You're never going to hear me stop talking about that. Utility is the reason that I'm willing to invest in cryptocurrencies. If they weren't legitimately useful, they wouldn't have any true underlying value, and I would say that they would go away eventually. But they won't go away. Cryptos are here to stay, and I see XRP actually being adopted. That's why I'm happy to put my money into this. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and this is not financial advice, but I don't think I'm wrong, because there is evidence. I'm reporting on this on a daily basis. There's endless piece of evidence after endless piece of evidence coming your way. Anyway, the piece continues here. Ripple's digital currency XRP is the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap of $13.8 billion, which is currently trading at 32 cents with 24-hour gains of 2%. Right? And I think that's the bulk of what I wanted to cover here. I think that was it. Okay, I was just scrolling down to make sure that I didn't leave out anything that I say. I think I need to start printing up because when I'm covering individual news stories, I feel like I should just print up what I want to cover, use a highlighter to highlight it, because when I'm just trying to remember the sections that I wanted to read, sometimes, most of the time I'm pretty good about it, but sometimes I got to admit I do have to skip around a bit. So I think I should go old school, even though it's 2019. I feel like I should print this stuff up. It's funny, I don't even have a printer at home because it is 2019. But now I've found a use case for it. There's real utility in paper. See, there we go. Paper is the future. All right, next piece here, and this is from @CryptoDave13, and he links to a fun piece from InsideBitcoins.com. I'm just gonna jump right in here. I'm not gonna dwell on this for too long, but I did want to cover this because, again, when I see garbage like this, let's just call the crap out. So again, this is from InsideBitcoins.com, and this is one of the most uninsightful pieces of garbage that you could come across today. So here we go. Ripple CEO throws Libra, Bitcoin, and Ethereum under the bus in an attempt to remain in good books with regulators. Oh, what a narrative. By the way, I want to be clear here. Presumably what they're referencing here, and I read through this whole thing, presumably what they're referencing is that open letter that Ripple wrote to Congress. That particular letter, it didn't cite Bitcoin and Ethereum, so if he's citing something else, like there's no link to it here, I haven't seen Brad throw recently Bitcoin or Ethereum under the bus as cited here. There have been facts stated in terms of Bitcoin and how it's the mining power, it's centralized in China. That's just a fair, accurate assessment, but that's an acknowledgement of reality, and that's unrelated to what's been going on with the regulators, so I don't really fully understand that. But let me read just a couple parts of this right here. Most of it I'm not going to, but this is the subtitle here is Garlinghouse Sides with Regulators. In the midst of all the battling between authorities and the crypto industry, Ripple has come out and sided with regulatory authorities. The company, through its CEO, made comments describing the US dollar as perfectly suitable and saying that there is no need for a new currency to replace it. Let me stop right there. That is so true. Let me ask you, do you feel a need? And if you do, that's fine if you do, but you're way in the minority, like single-digit minority here. Do you feel a need in your daily life to not use your current method for payments and have that replaced? Do you need to take a sledgehammer to the existing system right now for the use case of actual day-to-day payments for anything? About 100% of people are going to say no. The currency that I'm using, whatever country you're in, by and large, it's probably doing just fine, isn't it? I know the United States dollar is. I live in the United States. I'm in the Midwest here. Works great on a day-to-day basis. And until it doesn't, you're not going to see mass adoption for this use case. You can start to see it over a span of decades in parts of the world where their fiat currencies are collapsing. There's runaway inflation, and that use case will become even more viable as the crypto asset class matures and becomes less, as there's less volatile price action. And what will it take for that to happen? Well, the frenzy will go away, and hence the extreme volatility in crypto will go away eventually. I don't know when. It'll probably be a long time from now, probably a very long time, but won't happen until the world has figured out exactly the way in which cryptocurrencies can be used. Right now, there's just so much speculation, as you would expect, around a new technology, but it's not always going to be like that. So you could certainly see adoption for that in the future, and one of those problems of volatility may just go away because the frenzy will die down. I can certainly see that happening, but there's no need for it right now for most humans on the planet. It's just not going to happen anytime soon. It doesn't mean that I'm against the use case. It doesn't mean that I don't think it'll ever happen. I think it is possible to happen. But it's okay to recognize reality. So let's use cryptocurrencies where they can be used today. And where can they effectively be used today? Where can you apply a cryptocurrency and find that there's real utility with it? Well, how about as a bridge currency for moving money around the world, converting money from one fiat currency to another fiat currency? That's what XRP is doing as a bridge currency. Why not go for that first? And then if it becomes unnecessary because down the road everybody wants to just pay directly with cryptocurrencies because there's enough liquidity and the volatility's gone, well, super duper. If you've got all that and there's no scaling issues, I don't see a problem with that. But that's not going to happen first, and you're stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be insulting. But I just feel like if you don't see the need for that to occur first, then you're not thinking through things. It's not an insightful point of view. It's completely nonsensical. So anyway, the piece continues here. The company's... Here we go. There we go. The company CEO went on to express negative comments about Bitcoin and Ethereum as he attempts to distance his company from other crypto players and paint the competition in a bad light. I'm going to call that a flat-out lie. And unless somebody can point me to something where he recently did just that, but as it pertains to what he had to say, especially in the open letter to regulators, to Congress, no. That did not happen. That's a flat-out lie. I'm going to call it that. And if I'm mistaken on that, I'm happy to retract that, but I'm calling it a lie right now unless I'm proven wrong on that. But anyway, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse made it a point to distance his company from the rest of the players in the crypto industry during a recent conversation with Bloomberg TV. The CEO presented Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Libra in a negative way as he sought to shift attention away from Ripple's XRP token. He did not do that. I watched that interview. This is nonsense. The comments may also have been aimed towards pushing more traders to buy Ripple XRP instead of other digital assets on the market. Okay, look. In no way did he push. He doesn't do it. He has never pushed for anybody specifically to buy cryptocurrencies, specifically XRP. He has talked about how he has long Bitcoin, and he's talked about the long-term viability of XRP. But that's okay. They're building on top of the XRP ledger. He's not telling anybody to go out and buy this stuff. But that said, of course, all of the positive. All the positive developments within the XRP ecosystem, of course, that instills confidence of all this, but he's not blatantly coming out and trying to steer somebody one way or another. That's completely nonsensical. Anyway, during the conversation, Garlinghouse describes Facebook project as ambitious but arrogant for trying to be a replacement for fiat currency. The CEO expressed worry that other legitimate crypto projects will be caught in the crossfire as the United States government seeks to fight Libra. Okay, look, he said some stuff about Libra. He didn't say, first of all, he did not say that it's not a legitimate project. He never said that. But he did say that there's some Silicon Valley arrogance, that's the quote, for the Russian that's putting out a white paper without getting cleared from a regulatory perspective first. They kind of did this backwards. They really did. And that's a fair critique, I think. But, the bottom point, and I'm not going to read much more of this, but the bottom line here is that, and I know I cited this yesterday, so I'll be real quick on this point, but I know not everybody listens to all of my videos, but this is a very important point. Whether it's Bitcoin or XRP, both of these coins are decentralized. There is no central authority that controls them. Ripple doesn't have any special permissions over the XRP ledger, and as such, developers can use these coins for anything they want. And so if you're talking about regulating XRP, Bitcoin will be regulated, it should be regulated in the exact same way. It's a level playing field. So these people that are writing these things as if they're looking for regulatory conditions that would only apply to XRP. Well, no. That's completely nonsensical. And if that happened, I would call out against that. Because conceptually, of course, technologically, XRP is superior to Bitcoin for so many reasons. But conceptually, there are similarities to such a degree that, from a regulatory perspective, they should be, I think, under the same regulation whenever they come up with, because you can use XRP as a peer-to-peer cashless system as Bitcoin is envisioned. But on the flip side, you could use Bitcoin if you wanted to develop Bitcoin for this purpose. You could try to use Bitcoin as a bridge currency. It's technologically possible. It's just a bad business model because Bitcoin's very slow and it's costly to conduct those transactions. But you can do it. You absolutely can do it. So for them to think that whatever Ripple's saying doesn't only applies to XRP, and you have to believe that if you're having this stance like it's bad for the crypto community at large, well, it's completely nonsensical. So anyway, I'll leave it at that, though. Next piece I want to cover here, and this is from Thomas McLeod, and he is the CEO, right, of Omni. Let me highlight this. Yeah, founder and CEO of Omni. There we go. And he tweeted this out just yesterday. Today, Omni went live with our XRP validator. At Omni, we believe in a sustainable economy of access. It's clear that this is one of the best possible ways to help sustain the XRP ecosystem. Excited to contribute to the community. Announcement soon. So there's going to be more to say about this. And I suspect, because look, he tagged Tiffany Hayden and Mike Nardolillo, I hope I said that right. Anyway, I'm trying. But Tiffany Hayden really got a lot of people moving on this, so kudos to her, because I think that's where a lot of this is stemming from. But there was, what was the exchange? BitTrue, I believe it was BitTrue, and I reported on this, they began running a validator because of a conversation that Tiffany Hayden got started, and it looks like that's why Omni is doing this as well. So it's great that nobody needs to be strong-armed. It's just the concept entered these individuals' minds, like, yeah, we value the XRP ecosystem, we're going to do this. And that's how I like seeing it unfold. And so definitely kudos to Tiffany Hayden for getting people thinking along the lines of this, because it's absolutely great for the XRP ecosystem. But and for those of you that are unaware, real quick, Tiffany had recently expressed concern about Ripple, let's say, she worded it in such a way that I admit I did disagree with it, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but it's something along the lines of Ripple is too much of like a, I don't know if I want to say central authority. I really wish I could remember the words that she used, but it made it sound like Ripple was responsible for too much of the stability within the XRP ecosystem. And on that point, I did respectfully disagree, because to me it's sufficiently just decentralized. But I certainly agree with her on the point that it's always good to encourage others to launch their own validators. And so we're seeing success here, and these are just two cases. Like I said, there's the BitTrue exchange and now Omni, and hopefully others will follow suit as well. And hopefully you can get a ripple effect, if you will, and maybe some of these individuals like Thomas McLeod here, maybe if he's engaging with other people that are within the XRP ecosystem that are running businesses on top of the XRP ledger, maybe he could sway them to do it too. So hopefully you can get that kind of chain reaction. Who knows? So I'm glad that the conversation got going, and again, kudos to Tiffany for getting that rolling, because I don't think we'd be seeing these developments without that. All right, last piece I want to cover in this video now. This is from the Daily Huddle, which is dailyhuddle.com. This piece is titled, Binance CEO says alt season coming with one big difference this time around. Check out what he has to say on this. So, Binance CEO CZ thinks the next altcoin season will have a better outcome than 2017's. CZ says he believes the industry has matured and investing in altcoins won't be as haphazard as it was 2 years ago. And here's a tweet from them that they plugged into this piece here. And this tweet is from July 30th, so just a couple days ago. And this is the first I had seen of this, so it was fascinating to me, and I wanted to share it with you. So here's the tweet. The difference between the 2017 alt season and the next one is that this new one won't just have white papers. Projects in the next alt season will have products and users. They are still risky investments, but the industry is much healthier now. And that goes back, oh my God, this goes back to what I keep saying over and over and over again. I'm sorry if it's irritating, but it is so important. I'm going to keep hammering this point home. Utility matters. It really, really matters. And so there will be projects, and some of them are out there now, and some of them will die, admittedly, of course. Many of them will. Hopefully all the scams go away first. But those projects that provide actual utility will have staying power, and you just didn't see it to this degree. Even though it's still early days, you didn't see it to this degree in 2017. For example, xRapid was released in beta format only. There were no contract customers on Ripple's xRapid at that point, because xRapid, the production version, did not launch until the beginning of October of 2018. And so that's my favorite example. Of course, I'm a little biased at this point, but hey, I did my research. It's not like an ideological thing or anything like that. It's not like I'm emotionally tied to faster payments. I just think that this is a great investment opportunity, perhaps one of the best opportunities of a lifetime if it goes the way that I think it will be. Not financial advice, but anyway, that's what I'm looking at it like. Anyway, the piece continued here. A recent report from CoinShares research team shows that so far the market has not been cooperating with predictions for an alt season. And here's a quote. The market has mercilessly denied calls for a customary alt season, while Bitcoin's price rally has stolen all of the attention, at least so far this year. Despite many altcoins being significantly up from their respective bottoms, crypto opportunity cost is measured in Bitcoin, and nearly all altcoins have lost substantially to Bitcoin so far in 19. And also, I'd like to take this opportunity to just point out, if you're concerned about XRP's price, it's not just XRP. It really is pretty much every other coin out there that's an altcoin. It just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because if you believe that utility wins the day, then the price action here, while others have not figured out what you already know, just let them catch up. If we're right about this, seriously, think about this. If we are right about the genuine usefulness of XRP, the rest of the world will figure it out after us. I am totally cool with that. I put in my money first. You come after me, not you listening to this, but all the people that have yet to discover that cryptocurrencies and specifically XRP even exist. Anyway, so a chart from CoinMarketCap indicates Bitcoin has gained about 15 percentage points of the industry's total market capitalization since the beginning of April, moving from 50% dominance to its current level of 65%. And it's worth pointing out, historically, every time this has happened, when the dominance of Bitcoin has gotten up, there has been an alt season. And it's been like clockwork for like the last 5 years or so, every single time this has happened. And so while that doesn't mean that it's going to happen this time, it does mean that if history repeats itself, it will. And I do believe that it will. I don't think that we're done with altcoins. I think a lot of them will go extinct. They're going to go the way of the dodo. But we're not done with this yet. Anyway. As for recent initial exchange offerings, IEOs, on Binance, crypto researcher Larry Cermak crunched the numbers and found that new coins offered on Binance have so far offered the biggest return on investment. However, he warns that IEO tokens tend to lose their value quickly. And here's a quote. The data shows that IEO tokens can't sustain value over the long term. The most rational strategy to maximize profits would, therefore, be to invest in IEOs facilitated by the most successful exchanges, and to not hold them. To not hold over the long term. Long term, invest in something else. Right. And so, I agree. I think CZ is absolutely correct in this, and it's been my whole philosophy from pretty much from the get-go that as things are further developed within the world of cryptocurrencies, as the technology surrounding this asset class matures, you will see more money coming in. You will absolutely see more people coming in. With every one of these cycles, people come in, and then, like for instance, me, I came in towards right before the crazy run-up of Bitcoin, and specifically XRP. That's when I entered crypto, and I stayed despite the crash because I got a handle on what was going on here. And you have some people that do exit, and maybe they'll come back in later down the road. As investors, but there are always going to be those people that when they learn about it, they're like, oh yeah, there really is something here. I'm one of them. And if you're here, you probably are too. You get that there is actually something to this, which makes you, in my perspective, wise. I would say that's my opinion. But more money will come in, especially as infrastructure is brought out. It's going to bring new people in. They're going to do legitimate research and say, oh my God, I wish I knew about this sooner. And you're going to see many, many more cycles of this before it's all said and done. That's my opinion on this. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!